Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Week 1 of the 2018 NFL season is now done, and this is my Week 1 recap. Now, do not get too used to me making weekly recaps because, man, remember, I am a senior in college right now. I'm looking for full-time work after college. I'm flying across the country talking to all kinds of companies, and I still got a course load, and I still got other stuff, and I still would like to believe I have a social life, so it's a lot to balance. Don't expect this every week, but expect it this week, as this is week 1 of the 2018 NFL season. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot that I want to discuss. We're going to do this as quickly as possible. We're going to discuss every game I did not talk about, and I did not talk about any game other than the Titans game, so we're going to do it pretty quickly, about a minute per game, so let's go ahead and get into it. Falcons lose to the Eagles 18-12. I had the Falcons winning this game, and this is a game that they should have won, but as I said in my playoff predictions, I was going to stick with the Falcons in terms of going to the NFC Championship, and I'm sticking with it, but the Eagles are still looking good. Eagle fans on my channel, they're convinced that I hate the Eagles for some reason. Remember, I picked you to win in the Super Bowl, and you won. It's not that I don't doubt your team. Like I said in my prediction video, y'all didn't look that great and clean offensively in the preseason, and it showed week 1. The Falcons just weren't able again to get it in. Now, is that more to you or more due to them? I think it's more due to them. I think Matt Ryan just chokes at too many moments, but for right now, Eagles, I gotta respect you, and I have you guys winning next week. I'll go ahead and spoil that, so don't you worry about that. Eagles still looking good. Alright, next week, our next games, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers tying with the Cleveland Browns. Let's start with the Cleveland Browns side of things. Look, you tied, okay? Look, congratulations, you tied, but you didn't win, okay? And that's the problem. Hugh Jackson, look, I'm telling you, I don't think this guy's gonna lead the Browns to a very good season, but hey, at least you can say this is improvement. But come on, can you start Baker Mayfield? I mean, Tyrod Taylor was not good. This is one of the worst games Tyrod Taylor's ever played. 15-40, and look, I know the rain was causing a lot of the hell in this game, but Tyrod Taylor was not impressive. You cannot convince me that Baker Mayfield would not have played at least as well as Tyrod Taylor played. I just don't buy that. But Myles Garrett looks like an absolute beast right now, as he should, as the first overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. He's now coming into his own. Look out, NFL. And looks like Denzel Ward was a good pick by the Browns as well. We're just missing Baker Mayfield. Get him out there. And then for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, I picked Ben Roethlisberger to an MVP, and he did look like an MVP after the first game. Now, hopefully he can make up for that stat line-wise. I think he will definitely make up for it in upcoming weeks. Now, I'm not sure if he's still going to win the damn MVP. He has a while to go for that now with having 4 interceptions, but I still have faith in the Steelers, but this is their move. I said in my picks video, I'm going to have the Browns covering the spread here. It's going to be way too close, but the Steelers would win. They didn't. They tied, whatever. It was ugly. It was a tie. It is what it is. I still expect the Steelers to win the AFC North, but it's looking tougher. We're going to discuss that momentarily. Cincinnati Bengals, they go and they defeat the Indianapolis Colts. I said in my picks video, the Bengals are better than the Colts. I just wanted to pick the Colts because they're at home. I got it wrong. You know, sometimes you should pick that road team that is slightly better than the home team. I like the Bengals this year, and I don't know why so many people were shocked by me picking the Bengals to go to the playoffs. I think they're a playoff team. I think they're showing that. I think they showed that in their first game. Andy Dalton has his full arsenal of weapons right now. AJ Green, John Ross looking better. Tyler Eifert is healthy right now. The offensive line's improved. The defense, they've been drafting well on defense. Look out for the Bengals this year. Now, it's going to be close between them and the Ravens, and ultimately pick the Bengals, but do not doubt, we're going to get to the Ravens in a second, do not doubt that I do have respect for the Ravens right now. But Bengals, nice victory, keep it up, and Joe Mixon looks improved as well. The offense is looking good in Cincinnati. Alright, Indianapolis Colts, look, Andrew looks back, and he looks like the Andrew look of old. I'm convinced he would have actually led the Colts down for a victory if Jack Doyle did not fumble the ball, but he fumbled the ball. So he still looks good, but is he going to get help, Andrew Luck, because he had Jack Doyle fumbling, or the defense not being great at all moments, not even being good at most moments? That's the question still with the Colts, and the running game still isn't there, waiting on Marlon Mack to get back, but Andrew Luck is back. Rejoice on that. Probably not a playoff team this year, but Andrew Luck will get you to compete, I think, hopefully. But week two is not looking very kind to you either. All right, we already talked about the Titans and Dolphins game, so move on to the next one. San Francisco 49ers, they travel to Minnesota, and they lose 24-16, and I think it was a respectable loss. Let's start with the 49ers side of things. Look, this is a tough game. You went to Minnesota, and you competed. I think Minnesota is going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's what I have, and you kept it close. Garoppolo, 3 interceptions, but I think it's just, dude, you're facing, to me, the best team in the NFL. You have to take what you can get, okay? And you got decently far here. I'm okay with the 49ers right now. I was fine with this result. For the Vikings, a little slow offensively. You weren't able to really run the ball successfully in the second half of this game. Weren't able to be too consistent. We expect that with the new quarterback. The good thing is your defense is still there, so as long as it's there, we shouldn't have a problem. But not up to your potential quite yet. I know you can be better than this, and I think we will be in upcoming weeks and months. Houston Texans, they travel to New England Patriots and they lose 20-27. And look, Deshaun Watson, look, I call him a fraud. I call him Defraud Watson. And if you saw the game, he looked like a rookie again, and not his rookie form, but like a true rookie, the rookie I thought Deshaun Watson was going to be. He was inaccurate. He was turnover prone. He was lost. It was ugly, and it was bad. I mean, Bill O'Brien was shaking his damn head. Now, in the second half, he played better, led a semi-comeback, but there was no real threat there. I'm sorry, he's a fraud. He's gonna be okay, I think. He may end up being a bust. It still wouldn't shock me. But he's not the superstar that everyone was proclaiming he was gonna be. Now, with that said, you're gonna be surprised by my week 2 prediction. But he's not the superstar everyone thought he was. He's not. I'm sorry, he's just not. Everything else, look, DeMar Miller was running the ball well, DeAndre Hopkins catching it well, but there's no other receivers, and the offensive line isn't good. We know this. Deshaun Watson can't do it all with DeAndre Hopkins. I'm just trying to tell you all that. The defense, Watt has some pressures. J.D. Clowney did some things, but not too consistent there either. Need to see improvement there, but Tyrann Mathieu looks good. For the Patriots, same old, same old. I mean, not really much to discuss here. You were able to protect Tom Brady decently well, so I think you're encouraged by that. Receivers did a good enough job. Brady's still great at 41. There's really not much to say. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they traveled to New Orleans, and they beat the New Orleans Saints 48-40. Now, I did not have this, okay? I have the Bucs losing this game. I had the Bucs starting the season 0-5. So let me not act like I'm a complete prophet, but I do have the Saints missing the playoffs this year, and this was a loss they could not afford to lose to the Buccaneers at home. But the Saints continue to have problems with the Buccaneers. This is a trend that we've seen over the past number of seasons, and the schedule's only going to get more difficult from here from New Orleans. Now, I think next week they go up against Cleveland, so that's a victory. But then after that, it's going to be problematic. Their defense is not as good as people think it is. Marshawn Lattimore had a great year last year. He had a horrible game last game. There are holes in their defense. The linebackers still not there. Pass rush still not consistent. Look out for the Saints, I'm telling you. And the schedule's only going to get more difficult. Saints to miss the playoffs this year. As for the Bucs, Ryan Fitzmagic working his magic. Now, I believe next week they're going to be against Eagles, and I'm sorry that's an L for you, I believe, but maybe he's going to shock us again and throw on that Eagles defense. I ain't betting on it, but he's playing well. He is a very competent backup. And, you know, the discussion has began whether or not he will replace Jameis Winston. I think it's just ridiculous. Because the only reason you should do this is if you really think Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to lead you to the Super Bowl. That's literally, he may lead you to the playoffs. I'm not going to lie. He might. I don't think so. He might. He led the Jets to like 10-6 a couple years ago. But it's dumb because you're just completely getting away from your track to a Super Bowl, right? If you move away from Winston, if you bench Winston, just leave him on the bench, right? You're completely changing the path of your franchise because Ryan Fitzpatrick not going to lead you there. So you need to either start looking for that guy that's going to lead you there. And your defense isn't ready for that. It's not like you're the Vikings, a team that's ready. All you need is a quarterback. No, you need a defense right now. Your defense still ain't ready yet. Your offensive line is still ain't ready. There's still a lot of pieces to get ready. The Bucs still have a ways to go. Okay, so to me, just go back to Winston when Ryan Fitzpatrick, go back to Winston when he's off suspension. Ryan Fitzpatrick's having a nice run. I expect it to probably slow it down a little bit, but for him to still do decently well. But go back to Winston. Trust me on that. Just do it, or you will have to completely reset your franchise, and you don't want to do that. All right, we move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Giants, and not really much to discuss. I think we all thought this game went how we thought it would go. Jaguars, Giants, very defensive. Saquon Barkley had a nice run, but was kind of bottled up until that point. Odell Beckham got off on Ramsey, but didn't really score a touchdown. So there was some give and take here. Jaguars looked, decently well. The passing game still concerns me with Bortles and Keelan Cole being the number one wide receiver. And it is what it is. And Leonard Fournette also having some injury concerns. So the Dolphins looking even worse. Can they defeat the New England Patriots this coming week? I don't like their chances with the way this offense is looking, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Giants, Eli Manning is not good enough. And if the Bucs are really serious about potentially not starting Jameis Winston, I'd pick up the phone. And I say, what do y'all want for Jameis Winston? Because if you can combine Jameis Winston with Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham, wow, 10 years. We got something in New York. Okay, that is a trio right there. I still believe in Jameis Winston as long as it's head on straight. And I think out of Florida, it would be. I'm on the phone for Jameis Winston. And I think the Jaguars should be as well, honestly. Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens smacking the Buffalo Bills. And look, people still believe I'm disrespecting the Ravens. Again, people, just because I pick a team to go 8-8, that's why I always say best case scenario, worst case scenario, because there is a realm of possibilities. It could go either way. I could easily see the Ravens being an 11-5 team. I said that in my predictions video. My only question, and this remains a question, their schedule's a bit difficult, and is there going to be a quarterback controversy? Because I think if Lamar Jackson comes in, he's not going to do as well as Flacco's doing right now with that fire being lit under him. And I also need to see them stay healthy because they haven't been healthy with the past number of seasons. But I'm definitely having the Ravens in the playoff discussion. Do not worry about that. And this Thursday night game against the Bengals, I don't know who I'm going to pick right now. But right now, this moment, I'm leaning Ravens. So we'll see. I like the way the new wide receivers are looking. I'm not disrespecting the Ravens. I respect the Ravens. I just had to make some cuts. Sometimes you gotta make some difficult decisions. As for the Bills, you guys were never under consideration. You realize now why you were complete and total fraud last season. You're missing Tyrod Taylor, and Jesus Christ, Nathan Peterman is the worst quarterback ever. I gave this award to Bryce Petty. And Bryce Petty, congratulations. You are no longer it. It is now Nathan Peterman, who has 0 touchdowns to 7 interceptions in his career. This is wow. Can we get Bryce Petty and Nathan Peterman and put them over at the nerd table at lunch? Because this is ridiculous, these two. These two are the worst quarterbacks. And guess what division? The AFC East. And we wonder why Tom Brady is able to rule for decades. This is ridiculous in Buffalo. Jesus, what a beat. LaShawn McCoy is old. They have problems. Kyle Williams is old. I told y'all were getting old. I said 5-11. We're hoping for that now in Buffalo. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers. And look, a lot of y'all thought I was crazy for picking the Chiefs. I said, y'all, I'm not picking the Chargers to do anything this season. I wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it, but as I kept evaluating and I looked at the preseason, y'all keep telling me, don't look at the preseason. It's telling me something when it comes to these picks. I said Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense is looking good. Chargers not looking quite ready. Give me the Chiefs to not only win this game, but to win the division. And now you see, dude, they're en route. I know it's week 1 and their defense will continue to struggle and it will be a problem in weeks to come. They're going to get into some shootouts. They're the best team in the AFC West. The Broncos may end up being their best competition, and we're going to see what's going to happen. I still think the Chargers will finish second, but you know, who knows? So I like the Chiefs, and I may like them more than the 10-6 record I gave them. They looked really good against the Chargers defense that everyone thought was going to be so good, and they're missing Bosa, and that hurt, but man, they're just not. This is the Chargers. I don't know why. It's in their DNA. This is their move. You know they're going to catch fire. I'm not saying the season's over. They're going to catch fire. We're going to see if that fire gets them all the way into the playoffs, but they're going to start the season slow. This is their move. We need to learn eventually. I finally learned. Hopefully y'all learn now. They start the season slow. That's their move. All right, next game. Seattle Seahawks at the Denver Broncos. Seahawks, look, I mean, I said it in my season preview. It's over. It was a nice run. You know, you got your Super Bowl. You went to another. It's over. You know, this isn't the worst of losses, but it's just a loss that indicates, yeah, I think our time has passed. You're still going to compete. You're still going to win games. Russell Wilson's still good. You're missing Doug Baldwin now for 2 to 3 weeks. The wide receiver quite out of him is inconsistent. Earl Thomas is back, thank God. He's one of the only reasons you had a chance to win this game. But it just doesn't seem right anymore for the Seahawks. And for the Broncos, look, I liked what I saw. I also didn't like Case Keenum's 3 interceptions. So we're getting a mix of Case Keenum right now. A mix of the Case Keenum of old and new. New being last season. Ooh, that mix is going to determine everything. Because I do think the Broncos can compete for the AFC West. I do believe that. Don't let my 7-9 record I gave them completely fool you. Again, I think they can compete. We just got to watch that quarterback position. But at least Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman are combining for a nice running game in Denver. One that they haven't had in quite some time. So that's very interesting to me. Thomas is doing his thing. Emmanuel Sanders is doing his thing. And look out for Cortland Sutton, who's also doing his thing. The offense is looking decent in Denver. And that is very dangerous indeed with Von Miller doing his thing and Bradley Chubb soon to join. Next game. Washington Redskins, they got it done in Arizona. Again, I messed up. I should have picked the better team on the road. I picked the home team and I took the L. The Cardinals, look, I told Cardinal fans, this is not a good loss, by the way. I mean, I don't care how you slice it. Even if the Redskins end up being a surprise 10-6 team, which could be possible, you don't want to lose 24-6 at home to that type of team. This is not a good omen. Steve Wilks, I liked Steve Wilks the hire, but he looked lost. Bradford looked bad. He looked like Sam Bradford. It was ugly. Adrian Peterson was running all over y'all. I mean, it looked ugly. It was bad. And soon they're going to switch to Rosen, and hopefully it gets better. But I'm telling you, I said it. I just don't see how the Cardinals are not the worst team in the NFC right now. I just don't see any other way. They're the worst team in the NFC right now. We're starting to see that displayed. It was ugly, and for the Redskins, it was good, and it was encouraging. And again, I only gave the Redskins 6-10 because the NFC is so damn tough, and we'll see how you guys can do in upcoming weeks. But make no doubt about it, Alex Smith is a winner. He can win you some games. The offense looks good. Chris Thompson, man, this guy is such a PPR beast. He keeps winning fantasy games for me, and he's a great combination with Alex Smith right now. The wide receiver core is looking good. Doxson didn't do much, but Crowder's getting involved. Jordan Reed is healthy right now. We'll see how long that lasts, right? Mike Ioannidis, so defensively, he showed up, and he performed well. Redskins have some encouraging things. We'll see what happens in the NFC, though, because these schedules are going to get difficult. That's when I really want to see. So I'm still waiting and seeing when it comes to the Redskins. Not quite in yet on the Redskins. Dallas Cowboys at Carolina Panthers. And again, y'all can keep telling me don't watch the preseason. Don't listen to the preseason. What did the preseason tell us about the Cowboys? That they weren't ready offensively. What did they look like in week one? A team that was not ready offensively. The preseason was screaming this at us, and we did not believe it. Well, I believed it. And guess what happened? I got this game correct. They're not ready right now, and they're going to be playing for the bottom of the NFC East next week against the Giants, a game that I still don't know who I'm going to pick to win. It was ugly, and Dak Prescott looked bad, and this was concerning, man. And they should have ran more to me. I do believe that. You know, that's been the big discussion within Cowboys camp. At the same time, I mean, going into the season with this wide receiver core was just an L for the GM and just the whole front office in general. I can't believe they made that decision to believe in Michael Gallup and Allen Hurns and say this is good enough. And their tight ends, Blake Jarwin and Jeff Swain, this was dumb from the beginning. They're not going to move the ball this year, period. It's over. I mean, the season isn't over, but in terms of them moving the ball down the field, that's over. That's not happening. Not in 2018, and it's going to be ugly. Carolina Panthers, they did their thing. They won good. I wanted to see a little more dominance because I'm not sure how good the Cowboys are going to be, and you were at home, but it's early, so I'll give you some credit there, or some slack, I should say. You got the victory. Good. Next game, Chicago Bears. They traveled to Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers did his thing. I mean, this guy is so incredible. His mystic, his myth, his legend, his ethos continues to grow. I don't know if he's ever going to get another Super Bowl, but I won't care. He's going to be in my top 5 quarterbacks of all time. In fact, I think he's already there. He's fantastic. I mean, period. As a talent, he definitely is in the top 5. Just in terms of greatness, I encompass accomplishments as well as just individual talent. So that's why it's just, if he top 5 for me. But honestly, I'd probably put him there too. He's fantastic. Chicago Bears, they got scared. You know, and Mitchell Trubisky, I wanted to see more. You know, one of my bold predictions was that Trubisky was going to be the best quarterback from last year's class. He ain't near Patrick Mahomes right now. I mean, him and Deshaun Watson, I might take Trubisky, but I need to see more downfield, and they're not letting him have those opportunities. Are they scared he can't do it? Is he scared he can't do it? What's going on? I got to watch the tape this week and see what's going on there. They got to push the ball downfield. They have enough talent to do it. Let's start seeing it with Anthony Miller and Allen Robinson and Trey Burton, okay? Let's start moving the ball down the field. You choked, but Khalil Mack looks great, so great. All right, Monday Night Football, what a debacle for the Detroit Lions. And I was sitting here saying, look, I want to pick the Lions to win more games. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have had the Redskins going 8-8 and the Lions going 6-10 because they look like a 6-10 team this week. Now, make no doubt about it, the Lions will bounce back, I hope. Because literally the only thing that you can blame this loss on, I think, if you really think the Lions are in trouble, and let's say they go 4-12 or 5-11 or 6-10, it's all Matt Patricia. That's the only thing that's changed. Nothing else has changed. They brought in running back Kerryon Johnson, who didn't play much. They brought in Blunt. Their offensive line is healthier than the ones last year to start the season. Their defense is about the same. In fact, they should be getting better play from their linebackers who are now aging. The only thing that changes is Matt Patricia. So if this continues, are we going to have a 1-year head coach? Because there's literally no one else you can blame. He's going to fire Jim Bob Cooter. Let's say they keep going down this path. But again, it's early for that. Let's say they keep going down this path. They're going to fire Jim Bob Cooter, and they will really know, because what the hell was this? This was disastrous. And Matthew Stafford, 4 interceptions was just, insane. He's gonna bounce back. I think they will bounce back. I just wonder how much right now. I really wonder how much. And then the New York Jets, fantastic. Sam Darnold looked great. I had the Jets at 6-10, and I'm sticking with it. But as I said, as other teams get injured, you guys could bump up a win. Could you compete for the playoffs? I mean, you could. I actually think the Jets could compete for the playoffs. I think you guys will definitely be the second best team in the AFC East. Although maybe I'm wrong on the Dolphins. Maybe they're better than I think they're going to be. But we'll see. I like Sam Darnold. I said the Browns should have taken him number 1 overall. Although I think they'll be fine with Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold was my number 1 all the time. And he threw the pick 6 in his first throw. And who was my pro comparison for him? It was Jameis freaking Winston, who did the same damn thing. Sam Darnold is Jameis Winston with his head on straight. I don't know why people cannot compare white quarterbacks to black quarterbacks. I don't know why people can't do that. Look at their games. They're literally the same in good and bad ways. And I think Darnold, like Winston, is going to be good enough to start and do well, but he's going to stay on the field, and that will be the difference. And then final game, LA Rams at the Oakland Raiders. Welcome back, John Gruden, as you got your ass kicked. Monday Night Football against the LA Rams. It was ugly, and Derek Carr was ugly. Throwing phantom interceptions. I mean, throwing to me. I don't know who he was throwing to. Casper, the friendly ghost. Hey, Derek, throw me the ball. Oh, it's intercepted. I guess I don't exist. I don't know what was happening. A poltergeist was on the field. Some sort of, mystic creature. Some mythos. I don't know who he was throwing to multiple times in this game. It was absolutely ridiculous. The Rams are looking good, but Jared Goff wasn't as accurate as crisp as I want him to be. Just over 50% completion percentage. In fact, maybe it was just 50%. I think it was about 18 of 36. He missed some throws, so let's clean that up. He needs to get more rapport with Brandon Cooks. I need to see that improve. But for right now, they're looking good. Defense is looking good. Rams definitely a Super Bowl contender. I don't have them making even the NFC Championship, but I do have them winning the division still, and I think they're definitely going to be in the mix. But it's a hell of a mix right now. I'm projecting between the Vikings, Falcons, Eagles, and Rams. Falcons didn't have a great debut, but I think they're still going to be in there. Them even going to Philadelphia and competing is impressive. So, and then some will still believe the New Orleans Saints. That's fine. Go ahead and believe the New Orleans Saints. Okay, so with that said, that is week 1 of the 2018 NFL season. I went 9-6-1 for my picks. Not quite what I wanted, but I went 4-1 for my guarantee. So if you bet with me, you made good money this week. I hope to step it up tomorrow for my week 2 picks and predictions. And by the way, I didn't talk about the Titans and Dolphins, but I'll give you a preview right now. I'm not sure if I'm picking the Titans to win this week. This has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.